Hello friends and welcome to Out of DevOps. Today we're going to talk about a book that I'm currently reading, and it's a book from Daniel Coyle, and it's called Culture Code. So in this book he tries to answer a question that is why the certain groups adapt to be greater than the sum of their parts while other adapt to be less. And it's very interesting because it starts with an experiment that was done by Peter Skillman a few years ago with a group of students from the Stanford University, and not only students. So essentially the experiment was done with a group of lawyers, CEOs, business school students, and then at the end also a group of kindergartners. And the experiment was very simple. So the goal was to build the tallest tower using only 20 spaghetti, uncooked spaghetti, and then some tape and a string and a marshmallow. Only one rule, the marshmallow on top of the construction. So guess who won the contest? You think the CEOs or the business students? Well, surprisingly was won all the times by the kindergartners. And during the experiment, lots of things were analyzed, and what came up from this experiment is that all the groups except for the kindergartners were focusing on an activity that psychologists call status management. So instead of trying to figure out how to solve the problem, they were trying to figure out where they were fitting in the big picture. So what was their role and how to interact with each other. So this tells something very important, because by observing the kindergartners, they had lack of communication skills. They were not very good at communicating with each other. Also in the movement, they were also bumping into each other constantly, but they managed to succeed in the experiment, and they defeated every single other group. This should teach us an important lesson, because if we move to a real working scenario where we have a meeting with our team, and is there any dynamic that is similar to this? Do you think you are focused on the problem, or you are focused on making sure people understand what's your role, making sure people understand what is your experience, what are your skills? If this is happening, probably you should stop trying to solve that problem and solve something else, because when these dynamics are in place, these are important red flags for your company, and they need to be addressed before anything else. So why we need to solve this first? Because if we realize that these dynamics are happening in our team, or even between other groups, every single time we join a meeting and we notice that there is this status management happening, then meeting is not going to be effective. It's just a way to establish who is in command, who is in charge, and it's just politics. It's not problem solving. So if you want to focus on solving problems, you need probably to address what are the issues and why these things are happening. So the author orbits around three concepts that are build safety, share vulnerabilities, and establish purpose. And essentially, when this is missing inside the company, you are probably focusing on the wrong aspect or on the wrong thing, and this can lead to a toxic environment or a toxic culture. So the first thing to do is identify this type of problems and try to remediate as soon as possible, because there is no way you can succeed with a team that is dysfunctional. This is also in line with other books that you can find in libraries, like Group Genius from Keith Sawyer. So what's your opinion? How is the culture in your company? Maybe don't write it in the comments, but consider, do you see these patterns, and do you have a way to fix them? Have you tried to fix them? Just let me know down in the comments your opinions, and I'll be happy to read all of them. With this, I'm gonna end this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!